Just floated downwind. I'm guessing it's your handiwork.
Hello. Yes, it is mine. The lanterns are for my grandfather, to honor him.
What'd your grandfather do?
He was a soldier in World War II. He crashed on the island, defected, and then met my grandmother.
So to you, abandoning your duty is worthy of honor.
That is not what I'm celebrating.
What then?
I always adored my grandfather. One day, after a heavy rain, I found his photos buried in my family's garden. Things from his old life, his life of war. I make these lanterns every year on the anniversary of his death, to recognize that it is never too late to change who you are. My grandfather killed many people, but he was also brave enough to realize the error of his ways. He did everything he could to atone for his misdeeds.
I'm not sure bravery is the right word for that.
He built a new life from ashes. There's bravery in that. And now those soldiers desecrate his memory.
Yeah, and what makes you say that?
I kept the photos of my grandfather. I remember what he looked like vividly, every detail, down to the buttons of his jacket. Last week, I saw a soldier wearing it. They stole his precious things.
And you'd like help getting them back?
Please. I can show you the pictures of what was taken.
Wait. I recognize some of this gear myself. Used to belong to a friend of mine named Midas. The soldiers took these too?
They took all of it.
All right, I'll help you.
I will never be able to thank you enough for bringing these back. My grandfather was haunted by what he'd done until the day he died. It is my responsibility to make sure his memory lives on, so that no one repeats his mistakes. His best friend, another lost soldier, suffered a far worse fate. It is small comfort.
Honor comes in many forms. You're right. It's never too late to do the right thing, even if you stand alone. Maybe Midas will follow the same path. What happened to your grandfather's best friend? The lost soldier you mentioned.
The lost soldier. My grandfather's best friend. His name was Shiro. He lost himself in his loyalty to the homeland. He chose a more violent path. One that led to...
A violent end?
I'm afraid so.
Was he killed in action?
No, he... isolated himself. Whatever he saw, whatever he experienced, he tried to run from it.
I think we all owe a debt of gratitude to the soldiers that have paid the ultimate price for war. Whatever his past, he deserves a proper remembrance, and your family deserves some closure.
Thank you. I believe his twisted legacy starts in liberty. Looking for freedom and solace that he could never find. Should you follow his path, just be careful. You might not like what you find.
Desecrated flag. Nobody who fought so hard for their country should have ever been driven to this. Damn. I can't even imagine how betrayed he must have felt to do this.
The places you've gone, the things you've seen, it's tragic, isn't it? My grandfather said that all Shiro wanted to do was stop running, but he could never escape himself.
This guy fought too hard for far too long.
There has to be a better way than ritual suicide.
It was a different time, a different culture. From his point of view, it was probably the best thing to do.
This is not the kind of honor my grandfather taught me.
Listen, as soldiers, we have an obligation to protect those who can't protect themselves. We're honor-bound to do the right thing, even if it means sacrificing ourselves to do it. And as long as I stay true to my path, as long as I stay true to who I am, I won't follow in the Shiro's footsteps. I'm my own man. But the lessons that these men learned, it won't be forgotten. Looks like you've been real busy. How'd you learn to make these lanterns?
My grandfather taught me how to make them when I was a child. I remember scraps of colored paper, cookies, and sunlit afternoons.
That's touching.
Yes, those are some of my fondest memories of him. There was only us and these lanterns. The rest of the world just fell away.
This new world must look real different for someone who was born and raised here.
It happened so quickly. Innovation, they say. But this progress feels like a train blasting down the tracks.
Yeah, or careening off a cliff.
Yes.
So what do you think they want here? Those soldiers?
Opportunists are always attracted to shiny objects.
So you're not too fond of them?
Have you ever seen tree rot? A tree can look fine on the outside, but be completely decayed inside. Those soldiers are an infestation.
Do you believe it, though? That scientists can change the world?
I have no ambitions to change the world, just to protect my corner of it, and my grandfather's memory.
Your grandfather had an interesting view of things.
My grandfather called it Bushido, the warrior's path. It was the code of honor developed by ancient samurai.
Tell me more.
It always is when you ascribe to a staunch moral code. But that was also the point. You can easily devote your life to fulfilling those standards.
And what use were they to him?
Bushido taught him how to act, how to live until the very end. He did horrible things, but those values helped him atone. They're really valuable if you don't take them too far. I do my best to live up to that legacy.
I can respect that. Good luck.
Thanks. You too.